This is the Trust the Profits reaction to the Kentucky Derby in 2023. Nothing more to say. Trust the Profits. It's a formula here with Colin Sheehan. They are starting to load up, and we're going to bring up the video for you in a second here. We're going to show you our reaction to the Kentucky Derby as it happens. Colin Sheehan, we've got 18 horses here after all the fallout. What are you expecting to see here? What sort of things are you happy about here?
It's been a lot of drama, but we're finally here. I mean, I've been doing my Derby show since August, so for it to actually be here is just your heart starts beating. You're hoping that all the riders and horses are safe in this race. That, for me, is the most important thing after the week we've had at Churchill. People are texting me asking about, what's happened. But let's first and foremost, let's hope for safety. Second, my eyes are on number 17, Derma Soto Gake. This is the Japanese horse. Japan has never actually won the Kentucky Derby. A horse from UAE Derby has never won the Kentucky Derby. This horse, I think, is very versatile. I think this horse has a great shot. You obviously have the favorite, number 14, Angel of Empire, who's going off at 7-2.
Looks like 7-2 right now. Mattress Mac put his bet down, we're assuming, by now on Angel of Empire at 7-2.
I would hope so, because there's 0 minutes to post. So if you haven't done it by now, you might be in trouble, especially if you're using some of these ADWs that don't have servers big enough to handle the Kentucky Derby. But they're loading in. We've talked about a lot of early speed being on the inside. That changed a little bit with the scratches. Cyclone Mischief is drawn to the outside. That's a horse I expect to see go and cut over. Has Irad Ortiz aboard. That would be the concern for Doma Sotogake, is that Cyclone Mischief goes out and maybe cuts across and cuts him off. You have a lot of closers to the outside. So a lot of them will be looking for clean trips because if you're a closer, you're going to have to navigate your way through 18 horses, which is obviously very tricky, although not for Rich Strike. Not as bad as having 19 other ones, though. It actually would be 17.
Yeah, they are loading up now, so I am going to add the video here. At some point, we'll bring up where I thought the closers would be, or the openers, the speed horses here.
Here we go,
they
baby.
are all loaded up.
Let's go.
Wow, it has come to this here.
This is so exciting. We welcome, we thank you, and they are off in the Derby.
They're off.
And Dermot starts back and slid right into the left. Like I talked about with the versatility that he has, he's going to fall behind the first light. You got the early speed from Verifying, who we talked about being on the rail, needs to get right out. And King's Barn, who was the Louisiana Derby, who went wire to wire, is right alongside with Verifying, and Reincarnate is going to go up there as well. They're about 3 lengths ahead of the next three.
Jason's rode about where we thought he was going to be as well. Two Fills is up there. Right now, it looks like Verifying is setting the pace along with King's Barnes. Reincarnate is in there as well. Yeah, we got ourselves a race here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and so Confidence Game's on the inside. Confidence Game's coming off of that 10-week layoff. Looks like he's pulling a little bit. Reincarnate's on your outside, just tracking the two, and it looks like Two Fills is in between up on your front there. Is this what you expect so far?
Yeah, so here we go. Here's what we had. Confidence Game, Derma Sotogake, Reincarnate as the pace setter, and King's Barnes. So we're not too far off here in terms of where we thought we were going to be at this point in the race. Obviously, Verifying definitely setting more of a pace than we expected in Two Fills. Confidence Game is right and back there. And it looks like we're also seeing the 15 horse in there as what 16 horse. Sorry about that. Raise King.
Hit Show's making a big move right now on the backstretch just to get up, and the jockey's really asking him. That is Manny Franco. He's coming on the outside, and he is making.
Hit Show is flying.
And here comes Derma behind Hit Show. Derma Sotogake is on your outside, I believe. It's tough to tell.
Mage is making his way in there as well. There's a whole slew of horses. Two Fills up in front, it looks like. Looks like Mage is making his way up there. Going to break my ticket in half. Angel of Empire's charging up ahead. Could Angel of Empire make his way in? It looks like he's far off here. It looks like it's going to be Mage, Two Fills. Angel of Empire makes his way to third. So you got Mage, Two Fills, and Angel of Empire. Wow. Where did we think that was going to end up here? I did have Sun Thunder as having some closing power tap at Trice. Angel of Empire had up there as well. Holy cow.
Yeah,
what just happened there?
You got to take a minute and breathe it in. But first of all, the big scratch in this race was Forte. Forte came out of those same two races, beat Mage. in the Florida Derby. We thought Mage was going to actually have the victory when Forte caught him at the last minute. So what you saw here in the stretch from Mage was a horse that didn't lose focus and just went right by Two Phil's, really. A valiant effort from Two Phil's. Angel of Empire was closing, but we've talked about what we've seen this weekend is horses on the front end have certainly had an advantage, and Mage is able to hold on. Disarm gets fourth, and Hit Show gets fifth to clean up your Super and pick spot.
I'd just like to point out the one hole didn't seem to hurt Hit Show at all. He came in fifth place, yes, but he was also like 24-1 when he went off. So that's an improvement there. I just want to jab that into anyone who disses the one hole. But wow, Mage, we were just talking about this on the live stream. I think a lot of us, myself included, and I even went on air and said, hey, you know, Mage could prove me wrong, but I'm going to put him right in the middle of the pack here. And sure enough, he proved me wrong. Gustavo Delgado, the trainer of Mage, impressive.
Absolutely. Javier Castellano aboard. When I did my show with Video Hippico, he said, watch out, Gustavo Delgado gets the horse. You know, he had a very impressive first performance. And he said he's only going to get better, which he absolutely has. Just a huge effort from Mage. They went 22 for the quarter, 45 for the half. So I didn't notice that as the race was going, but that's a pretty quick pace up front. We talked about maybe there not being a lot of pace in this race, but certainly verifying, and those on the front end did their job to set this up for a horse like Mage.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some horses we didn't hear from today. Tapit Trice was a horse that was getting a lot of pub in terms of setting the odds. Tapit Trice won off at 9-2. I don't think we called his name once during this call. So Tapit Trice, we didn't see him. We'll have to take a look back and see what went wrong with Tapit Trice there. Other horses that we were talking about earlier, Dermasotogake, that's really the one that I want to talk about. Dermasotogake went off at 7-1. Japanese horse, looked great at UAE. But again, we're not even seeing him in the top 5 here. Long race, impressive work from Mage, hitting that 8 hole, looking impressive. But Dermasotogake, unfortunately, we don't get that storyline today.
No, I saw him coming around the turn, but he just didn't have that closing kick, and Mage already had the jump on him. So superb Derby and a great season.
Yeah. Yeah, and Two Phil's coming in second place. Tip of the hat to Matt DeSantis, who's been calling Two Phil's all year long. Two Phil's, I believe, Chicago-bred or Illinois-bred horse. So I think a lot of people in my neck of the woods are going to be touting Two Phil's, Larry Ravelli, Jareth Lufberry. Impressive that Two Phil's was really giving it his all. Almost had the win there. Pulled the second place at the Derby. Very respectable. Coming off of the synthetic too. I mean, we talked about that last year. Rich Strike, we sort of all brushed that off the side of our shoulders. Rich Strike hasn't won since the Derby last year. Came off synthetic, had obviously an amazing Derby last year. Is there something to that? Can we look at these horses coming from Turfway and start looking at them in a different light, or is Two Phil's really an anomaly here?
Well, the difference with Two Phil's is he had run on the dirt, right? So he had shown to it looked like he had some seconds and some thirds in the LeCompte and the Risen Star compared to a horse like Tiz the Bomb last year who came directly off the synthetic. So at least we knew there was something there. Yeah. I think a lot of people maybe faded because of that big pop on the synthetic and thought maybe he's not as good as what he showed. But that was a really valiant effort from Two Phil's. And that's great for Larry Ravelli and Jareth Lufberry for their first Kentucky Derby. That's a great way. This horse had finished third actually behind Angel of Empire in the Risen Star. So that race actually is probably looking to be a pretty key race as you see Two Phil's and Angel of Empire come out of that race.
I think our final image there is Javier looking very happy on Mage right now. So congratulations to him. All right. That is Trust the Profits reaction replay from the Kentucky Derby in 2023. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. Some of us may have profited more than others on this race, but we all had fun. Peace out.